Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. It is February 17th, 2020, and our reading for today is from the card, The Spaces Between the Words, The Spaces Between the Words. And this comes from the Alana Fairchild cards, Journey of Love. So one of the things that I'm seeing with this card is that we all need to find our own way, of course, but that there are similar journeys. We're all joined together on journeys in this lifetime, and that many of us are taking the same road. That's the way life is. We take the same road together, and that it is up to us to be able to listen between the lines. And I think for me, this card feels very much about discernment and finding the right pathway. And it's not so much that there's right and wrong pathways, although we would say that there are. And when there's harm done to another person, we would call it the wrong pathway. But it's more about finding a pathway that aligns with us and where we want to go and what we want to do. And so when you look at this card, you're going to see that there is just multiple streams, multiple lines of pathways that we can be going on. But it truly is up to us to use the discernment and make sure that we're on the right pathway for us. Okay? Somebody else's pathway we may think is wrong, but for them it might be right, and may not make any sense to us whatsoever, but for them, it may be right. And so I really want you to be aware of all of the pitfalls that are on your pathway, not on other people's. We don't need to worry about others. They'll take care of themselves just like you need to take care of yourself. But this is, and I don't mean that in a selfish way. I don't mean that we aren't each other's caretakers as well, because I think that in our human world, we all must take care and love on all of us. But the best way to do that is like when you're flying and they tell you put on your own oxygen mask first. That's what I'm talking about. You can't do any good if you're not aligned with who you are, because then that's where you're going to find anger and frustration and bitterness and resentment, all those things that go on because you're finding yourself someplace where you don't want to be. And you won't even know that you don't want to be. It's just that it's not going to feel right. It won't align, and you will constantly be running into walls. That's kind of what the universe does. It's like it just kind of corrals us in, and it's, and when I say it kind of corrals us, I don't really mean that there's something going on that's corralling us, but life really does keep us on our own pathway. And I truly believe that each of us comes with our own purpose. And I know we have a whole general overall purpose, and we're humans and we procreate and we do all of those kinds of things. But within that, each of us is journeying along the way. And so we have our own journey, no matter what that looks like. And in this case, it's saying to me that you must prepare. There's going to be sand dunes in front of you. There's going to be river. There's going to be boulders. There's going to be curves and misses and cul-de-sacs, and a feeling that you're going in circles and that you need to get yourself out. So all of that stuff is going on in this card. But one of the things that is most important for all of us to know, that there is a whole life force energy, and we're all tapped into that. And that does not go away. That does not change no matter what you're doing. That is still a part of us and our lives as humans. So when I say we're tapped into that universal energy or that life force, it is not something to be afraid of. It's not something bigger than you. It's not something that's going to take you out of control, but that's kind of how it feels. Sometimes we can get used to playing small. We can get used to playing in a very narrow vein of thinking and narrow way of being. And we need to not be afraid to open up and look outside of ourselves and look outside into the other worlds that are around us, because there is always something to be learned. It may just be that you learn that I don't want nothing to do with that, but still it is good to take a look, and it is good to observe what's going on rather than judging what's going on. See, here's the thing. We judge when we're insecure. We judge when we have been taught to be a certain way. But that doesn't necessarily make it the only way. And there are billions of people in our world. So I don't think that just one person, one culture, one religion can have the way. I don't think that's possible. So it's up to you to find the way that aligns with you. And I say that again and again, but that is where life gets the most colorful. It gets the most joyful. It gets the most interesting. It's the most fun to explore, because when you explore in your own language of your own being and your own spirit, it becomes a very different thing. And so what I mean by that is, you may be a person that loves to explore through music. So that's me. I have lived by exploring all different kinds of music, different instruments, all that kind of thing. I thought, all right, I don't know. Well, there came a day I thought, I don't know how to find my way. I don't know where it is. And so I thought, well, what do I love? I love music. So I immediately began to look for different sources and different things to check out in music. But you might be a fisherman, and so you might do it through fishing. But what I can promise you is, if you follow what you love inside, you will find the pathway, you will find the way. And that is what this card is saying. Each of us has our own stream of a pathway. It's like there's a million airstreams and we're all on different ones. And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to do it your way, because that's what matters. All right, everybody, have a great week. Thank you so much. I'm Melody Johnson. You can find out more about the work I do and see other readings from past weeks, which I'm sure probably still will have play for you, at thisworthywoman.com. Be sure to stop by, check us out. And if you're enjoying this channel and you're enjoying these readings, then hit subscribe and you will get them a little email every time, or a little notice that there's a new recording. So please do join us. Check us out. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.